Bob, we just want to thank you for being with us today and bringing your enthusiasm and excitement about a new leadership training program in Bolivia called CIET. Our mission statement says that South America Mission is committed to establish the Church of Jesus Christ in South America by planting and nurturing churches, training church leaders, and developing church associations. Bob, if you would just share with us about CIET and how CIET is helping to develop church leaders.
Don, the South America Mission is dedicated to training good, qualified church leaders in Santa Cruz, Bolivia. We've been at it quite a few years, and in the past few years we've done an effective job in training pastors to go out into outer-lying churches and outer-lying neighborhoods, and those who have been church planners and evangelists. But we've realized that that the city of Santa Cruz is changing, and we need to change along with the city. In our churches we have young people who are high school graduates who want a more in-depth theological training, one that will help them pastor an inner city church or a church that's in a middle-class neighborhood. We've also felt like we've been not doing a good job in training Sunday school teachers. And so we established a new program. We got together with the National Church Association and asked them to come together with us and help us plan a better, more effective way and a more culturally adaptable way of training church leaders in Santa Cruz. The plan that came out of that meeting was CIET. CIET is an acronym in Spanish for the Interdenominational Center for Theological Studies. We developed a multi-level training center for theological studies. First level is for those who are interested in a little more theological preparation in their ministry in the church, maybe deacons and elders, and for Sunday school teachers to give them more effective tools in teaching in their churches. The second level is for those who want to go out into the outer-lying neighborhoods and pastor those smaller churches or to plant new churches in those outer-lying neighborhoods. And then the third level is for high school graduates who want to get an in-depth theological training to help them in their ministry as pastors of the inner city churches and the churches in the middle-class neighborhood.
Bob, we all know that it takes a lot of resources to operate a Bible Institute. And one of our most valuable resources are our people resources. Now I would like for you to just share with us some of the SAM missionaries and nationals that have the responsibilities of teaching and administration at CIET.
Well, Don, the Lord has blessed us in Santa Cruz with some very qualified people to lead and direct this training center. First of all, we have a national who is the overall director. His name is Leopoldo Setti, a very qualified man and a good educator. And he's taken this program and expanding the program and making it grow, always looking for better ways of training national leaders. Then we have two missionaries that are involved with the program, and that's one of them is Brian. He's the academic director, and he makes sure that the teachers are teaching that which we want to get across to the students. And then I'm the administrator, the administrative dean of the training center, and it's my responsibility to make sure that the funds are spent in the proper way. And I'm also in charge of taking care of the practical work for the students, making sure they're doing practical work in their churches that correspond to the training that they're getting during that semester. And then we have some very qualified teachers in Santa Cruz. We get the best teachers that we can for each course to be taught and have them teach the course. And we've been pleased to see the results through the students that these teachers have been able to provide in their teaching at CIET. And then we have a missionary that we're waiting for to come to the field. His name is Jeff Haas. We can't wait for him to get there and help us out with the CIET program. He will help a lot in teaching and also help me a lot in the administrative part of CIET.
Bob, it sounds like CIET offers some great learning opportunities. Would you share with us a little bit about the student that attends CIET?
This is the unique thing about CIET. Because of the diversity of the program, we have many different kinds of students attending CIET. First of all, we have those in the churches that want a better preparation for teaching Sunday school. And then we have those who want to become pastors and need to have training for becoming pastors and church evangelists, church planners and evangelists. And then we have those who are already pastors in a church and are wishing to have more theological training. Well, that's where they fit into the upper levels of education. And then the unique thing about CIET is that we have professionals coming to study. These professionals maintain their job during the day and study at night so that they can get their theological training without losing their profession in the secular world. So then they become bivocational pastors. They continue their secular job, but they become pastors in their church. And this is where the trend is in Latin America, and the trend that we want to follow with in CIET is to be able to train effectively bivocational pastors.
Bob, it's quite evident that CIET will play a key role in training church leaders for Bolivia. And I'm sure there's a lot of people here in North America that would like to help in some way. How can the people here in North America help?
Well, Don, that's the question I like to hear. First of all, we need funds. Now, we are charging a tuition, and we do have some money coming in from the students. But as we start this program up, it's not enough to cover our expenses. Eventually, 5 or 6 years down the road, we hope that tuition will cover all expenses in the CIET program. But now they don't, so we need some help with monthly funding. Second of all, we need a building. We're renting a place right now, and that cuts deep into our budget. What we'd like to do is build a 4-story building that will house all of the CIET program and offices for our mission and for the church association. This building is going to require money, funding, and work teams. We feel like if we have enough work teams to come down, we can build this building very easily. And so we would encourage those in North America to think about joining a work team to help us build the CIET building. Thirdly, we need teachers. We realize that as we raise our level of education, we need to raise our level of qualified teachers for these courses. And we need teachers that have been trained to teach at a seminary level. And that's what we need the most. And we would encourage those who have THMs, those who have seminary training and are capable of teaching, to consider becoming a missionary and teaching in CIET. And fourthly, and most important of all, is we need prayer. We need your prayers to make sure that we continue to raise qualified leaders for the evangelization of Santa Cruz, Bolivia, and all of South America. Thank you. The Centro Familiar Cristiano Las Misiones, or Christian Family Center Las Misiones, started as a combined vision of the Spanish River Presbyterian Church and the South American Mission to plant an evangelical church in a middle-class neighborhood of Santa Cruz, Bolivia. The Lord provided a piece of property with a house in the middle-class neighborhood of Las Misiones, and Pastor Felix Pedraza was called to plant this new church in Santa Cruz. Because of Felix's Bible-based teaching and his zeal for spreading the gospel, the church quickly grew to an average Sunday attendance of about 60 people. The church had an active Sunday school program, and the Holy Spirit used the preaching to touch the hearts of many to turn their lives over to the Lord. The congregation soon grew to a point where there was not enough room in the living room of the house to seat all of those attending. Some of the Sunday schools had to be held outside because of lack of room inside. If the weather was bad or rainy, the classes had to be held all together inside the house. The church stopped growing because of the lack of space. About this time, Felix was asked to become principal of a school in the same neighborhood. The school had a bad reputation, and the owner, not a Christian, was afraid he would have to close the school from lack of students. He knew Felix had been principal of another school and felt like he could now do a good job of reviving this school. Felix agreed to the challenge with the condition of making it an evangelical school. He saw this as a great opportunity to reach other people in the neighborhood who would not normally go to church, and he used special school functions where parents were invited to always give a gospel message. The members of the church felt that the church would continue to grow by moving the services to the school. There are plenty of rooms for all the Sunday school classes and a covered basketball court, which is used for holding worship services. Again, the church experienced a growth spurt with Sunday attendance now over 100. This growth is mainly due to the outreach it has through the school. Many of the present members are there because they were invited to come to church or heard the gospel at a school function. The church needs a sanctuary and Sunday school rooms of its own. The vision of the church is to have 1,000 members in the next 5 years. What is needed is a nice sanctuary that will seat 1,000 and rooms for holding Sunday school classes. The original church property has enough room for all of this, and we are praying that the Lord will provide these buildings. Spiritually, the church continues to grow, and Felix has been able to get a team of 3 other pastors to work with him. Felix is the senior pastor, Osman Melgad is the pastor of church cell groups, Roque Algarañas is the youth pastor, and Bob Evall, pastor of evangelism and outreach. The members are receiving good Bible study in the cell groups. The youth are growing, especially as those youth are reaching their classmates and inviting them to church, and 2 open-air campaigns and door-to-door evangelism are planned for this year. Plans are in place for the construction of the sanctuary and Sunday school rooms. The construction will be done in phases as the Lord provides. On these plans, you can see the wall that now surrounds the property and the existing house. The first phase of construction will be the sanctuary. This will be a theater-type building with a seating capacity of 1,000. The architecture and design of this sanctuary was developed to encourage people from this middle-class community to come and worship the Lord. The second phase will be a 2-story, multi-classroom complex built along the inside boundary of the property. God has given this vision to the Las Misiones Church, and the church is committed to continue its gospel witness in this community. They need their own place of worship and have been praying that the Lord will provide. They have already established a building fund to see this vision become a reality. It will become a reality if our brothers and sisters in North America are willing to help. Funds are needed to begin this project and work teams to work alongside the national brothers, and much, much prayer. Would you ask God to show you the role that you could take towards the fulfillment of this vision in Las Misiones?